You know what poison tastes like, right? I do. 3 times, 3 different poisons, 3 near-death experiences. And I'm still here, still breathing, still talking to you right now. They sprayed me, they baited me, they gassed me, and every single time, I crawled back. You're probably thinking, how? How is that even possible? Trust me, I asked myself the same question multiple times, usually while choking on chemicals and questioning my entire existence. But here's the thing about us cockroaches. We don't die easy. We've survived dinosaurs, ice ages, and whatever that weird casserole was in apartment 4B. You really think a can of Raid is gonna take me out? Okay, it almost did, 3 times, but that's not the point. The point is, I survived, and today I'm going to tell you exactly how. My name? Well, I don't really have one. You humans never bothered to ask. You just screamed and reached for a shoe. Real welcoming, by the way. But if I had to pick a name, let's go with Rex. Yeah, Rex the cockroach. Sounds powerful, right? Sounds like someone who survives 3 poisoning attempts. Because I did. Right now, I'm hiding behind a water heater in a basement. It's warm, it's dark, it's safe. For now. I've got scars you can't see, trauma you wouldn't believe, and a story that'll make you think twice before you ever reach for that spray bottle again. I know. I'm not exactly cute. I don't have fluffy ears or big puppy eyes. I've got antennae and 6 legs, and apparently that makes me public enemy #1. But hey, at least I've got a story worth telling. So sit back, get comfortable, maybe grab a snack. Just don't leave any crumbs. Someone might be looking for them. Today, I'm going to tell you my entire story, from the peaceful beginning to the poison to everything in between. You ready? Good, because the worst part is yet to come. Let me take you back to when life was simple, back to when I didn't know what fear really meant. I was born in a wall, apartment 7C, 3rd floor of an old building in the city, and honestly, it was paradise. I had 24/7 brothers and sisters. Yeah, you heard that right, 247. You think your family reunions are chaotic? Try sharing one breadcrumb with 247 siblings. It's basically the Hunger Games, but with antennae. My mom, she was incredible, protective, strong. She carried us in an egg case for weeks before we hatched, and when we finally came out, she taught us everything. How to find food, how to hide, how to freeze when the lights came on. Don't move, she'd say. They can't see you if you don't move. Okay, she was wrong about that, by the way. Humans can definitely see you. They just panic too much to aim properly. But back then, I believed her. I believed everything. Our corner of the wall was perfect. Warm pipes running through. A tiny crack that led straight to the kitchen. And oh, that kitchen. You ever smell fresh pizza at 2 a.m.? That's basically our version of heaven. Humans order food, eat half, leave the box open, and we feast like kings. Life was good, simple, safe. I had my favorite spot near the refrigerator motor. Warm air, constant hum, occasional cheese crumb. What more could a roach ask for? I even had friends. Well, cousins, technically. But when you have 247 siblings, everyone's a cousin eventually. We'd explore together at night, race across the counter, see who could carry the biggest crumb back home. I was fast, really fast. They called me lightning legs. Okay, nobody called me that, but I was fast, and I was happy. And then everything changed. You ever have one of those days where you wake up and something just feels off? That was the day I'm about to tell you about. And trust me, you have no idea what's coming next. It was a Tuesday. I remember because the humans had taco night on Tuesdays, and taco night meant crumbs. Glorious, seasoned, slightly spicy crumbs. I woke up around midnight. The apartment was quiet, the lights were off. Perfect conditions. I did my usual stretch, all 6 legs, one at a time. Checked my antennae, everything felt normal. But then I smelled something. Something wrong. You know how humans can smell rain coming? We can smell danger. It's this chemical thing, hard to explain, but my antennae picked up something that made my entire body freeze. Sweet. Too sweet. Artificially sweet. And it was coming from the kitchen. Now, here's the thing about cockroaches. We're curious. Stupidly curious sometimes, like you humans with your phones at 3 a.m. We know we should stop, but we can't help it. So I started moving toward the smell. My brother, Tiny, yeah, ironic name, he was huge. He grabbed my leg. "Don't go," he said. "Something's different tonight." I should have listened. I really should have. But the smell, it was intoxicating, like a mix of sugar and death, but mostly sugar. I told him I'd be careful. I told him I'd be right back. I never saw him again. But we'll get to that. I crawled through our usual crack in the wall, down the pipe, out through the gap behind the stove. And that's when I saw it. A small plastic station, black, rectangular, sitting there right on the counter like it was waiting for me. Inside, something was glowing. Not literally, but to my senses, it was like a beacon, a delicious, irresistible beacon. And I thought, free food? On a Tuesday? This is my lucky day. Oh, I was so stupid. I walked right up to it, stuck my head inside, and ate. Oh, it tasted amazing. Sweet, sticky, everything a roach can dream of. I ate and ate. And then, about 30 seconds later, something happened. My legs started tingling. Not the good kind of tingling, the something is very wrong kind of tingling. I tried to walk. I couldn't. I tried to turn around. My body wouldn't listen. And then this wave of heat hit me from inside, like my organs were on fire. That's when I realized. Poison. It was poison. I had just eaten poison, willingly, happily, like an idiot at an all-you-can-eat buffet of death. My vision started blurring. Everything was spinning. I could hear my own heartbeat and it was slowing down. Thump, thump, thump. I collapsed right there on the counter. And the last thing I saw before everything went dark was a human standing in the doorway, watching, smiling. "Finally," she said, "those traps actually work." You think that's the end? Oh no, that was just round 1. Wait for it. I don't know how long I was out. Minutes, hours, felt like days. When I finally opened my eyes, I was still on the counter, but something was different. I was still alive. Barely, but alive. My whole body felt wrong, like someone had replaced my insides with hot soup. Every movement was agony, but I moved anyway. Because here's the thing about survival. It doesn't care how you feel. You either move or you die. So I moved. One leg, then another. Slowly, painfully, I dragged myself toward the edge of the counter. Every inch felt like a marathon. My antennae were barely working. My vision was still blurry, but I could see the crock behind the stove. Home. Safety. If I could just make it there. And then, the light turned on. Click. My blood froze. Well, whatever was left of it that wasn't poisoned. I turned my head slowly, and there she was, the human, standing in the kitchen with a glass of water. Our eyes met. You ever have that moment where time just stops, where everything freezes and you realize your entire fate depends on what happens in the next second? That was this moment. She screamed. I tried to run. "It's still alive!" Thanks for the observation, really helpful. She grabbed something from under the sink, a spray bottle, and not just any spray bottle. I saw the label, Cockroach Killer, industrial strength, kills on contact. Oh great, round 2. She aimed, I ran. Psst. The spray hit me like a tidal wave, chemicals everywhere, in my eyes, on my legs, down my back. You know that burning sensation when you get soap in your eyes? Multiply that by 1,000. Now imagine it on your entire body. I couldn't breathe, literally. My spiracles, those are how we breathe, they were clogged with chemicals. I was drowning, on a kitchen counter, in poison. Not exactly how I imagined going out. But here's the thing, she missed my head. Most of the spray hit my back legs, not my vital parts. So while I was in absolute agony, I could still move. Barely, but still. I dragged myself forward. She sprayed again, missed. I'm telling you, worst aim I've ever seen. Thank God for that. I reached the edge of the counter. And I jumped. Falling from counter height when you're a cockroach is terrifying. It's like you jumping off a building. But we have wings, sort of, so we can glide. I glided. Poorly. More like controlled falling. But I made it to the floor. She screamed again, grabbed a broom this time. Wham! 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 The floor shook around me. She was swinging that broom like her life depended on it. Lady, I'm 2 centimeters tall. Calm down. I ran toward the fridge. There's a gap underneath every fridge. It's like our emergency shelter. She tried to block me. Wham! Wham! But I was too fast. Even poisoned, even barely breathing, I was too fast. I slid under the fridge just as the broom slammed down behind me. Darkness. Safety. Dust bunnies the size of me. I collapsed again, breathing heavy, body burning. And I thought, is this it? Is this my last day? Everything hurt. My legs, my antenna, my insides. The poison was still working its way through me. I could feel it, breaking me down from the inside. But I wasn't dead yet. Not yet. I lay there for hours, maybe the whole night, drifting in and out of consciousness. I dreamed about my family, about Tiny, about the wall that was home. I dreamed about crumbs that weren't poisoned and humans who didn't scream. When I finally woke up, I was different. Something had changed. I was weaker, sure. 2 of my back legs didn't work properly anymore. My right antenna was damaged. But I was alive. Alive. And I was angry. You ever been so mad that it actually gives you strength? Like pure rage just fueling you. That was me. They poisoned me, sprayed me, tried to crush me, and I was still here. But wait, the worst part is yet to come, because poison number 3, that one nearly finished me. 2 weeks later, 2 weeks of hiding, healing, learning. I learned to avoid the traps. I learned to recognize the smell of poison. I learned that humans were predictable. They put traps in corners, near garbage, under sinks. So I avoided corners. I avoided garbage. I stayed in places they'd never think to look. Behind picture frames, inside old books. Once I spent 3 days inside a guitar that nobody played. I was surviving, adapting, getting smarter. But then they brought in the professional. You know those pest control people, the ones with the suits and the equipment that looks like they're fighting aliens. Yeah, one of those. He walked in with a tank, a literal tank strapped to his back, full of gas. "Don't worry, ma'am," he said. "This'll clear 'em all out." I was watching from behind a painting, and I knew this was different. This wasn't a trap I could avoid. This wasn't spray I could outrun. This was gas, and it was going to fill every crack, every gap, every hiding spot. Nowhere was safe. I had to get out, but how? The windows were closed, the doors were shut, and this guy was about to turn the whole apartment into a gas chamber. I had one chance, just one. There was a vent near the ceiling in the bathroom. It led to the building's ventilation system. If I could get there before the gas spread. But it was across the apartment, through the living room, past the kitchen, up the bathroom wall, while this guy was pumping poison gas into everything. No big deal, right? I took a breath. My damaged legs ached. My antenna barely worked, but I had to move. Now. I ran, faster than I'd ever run before. across the floor, dodging chair legs, jumping over shoes. The gas started hissing. I could hear it, that terrible, sickening hiss. The human saw me. "There's one!" But the exterminator was too busy with his tank to care. "It won't survive the gas anyway." "Oh yeah? Watch me." I hit the bathroom door, squeezed through the crack underneath, started climbing the wall. You ever tried climbing when you can barely feel your legs, when the air is already getting thick with poison? It's not fun, let me tell you. But I climbed, inch by inch. The vent was right there. Gas started seeping under the door. I could see it, yellow-green and thick. My eyes started burning again. Here we go again. I reached the vent, but the slots were closed. No, no. I pushed, I shoved, my legs screaming in pain. And then one slot bent, just a little, just enough. I squeezed through, cut myself on the metal edge, didn't care. I crawled into that vent like my life depended on it. Because it did. Behind me, the bathroom filled with gas. If I had been 2 seconds slower. But I wasn't. I crawled through that ventilation system for hours in complete darkness, not knowing where I was going. Just away from the poison, away from the death. Eventually, I found another opening. It led to outside, to the roof. Fresh air, stars, freedom. I collapsed on that roof and I cried. Can cockroaches cry? I don't know, but something happened. Something released. I had escaped again. 3 poisons, 3 near deaths, and I was still breathing. That was 6 months ago. I don't live in buildings anymore. Too dangerous, too many humans with spray bottles and exterminators on speed dial. I found a place in the basement of an abandoned warehouse. It's quiet, it's dark, and nobody's tried to kill me in months. There's a small community of us here, other survivors, roaches who escaped from different apartments, different buildings, different nightmares. We share stories, we share food, we look out for each other. But I'm not the same roach I used to be. My back legs still don't work right. My right antenna never fully healed. I can only sense things on my left side, which means I have to turn my head constantly. Paranoid? Maybe, but paranoid roaches live longer. And then there's the stuff you can't see. I still have nightmares about the gas, about the spray, about that poison trap that tasted so sweet. Some nights I wake up thinking I'm choking, thinking I'm back on that counter, dying alone. The fear, it never really leaves you. But here's what I learned. I'm still here, despite everything. Despite every attempt to erase me from existence, I'm still here. And that means something. You know what survived dinosaurs? Us, cockroaches. We were here 300 million years before humans even existed, and we'll probably be here long before you're gone. Not because we're invincible, we're not. Those 3 poison attempts proved that. But because we adopt, we learn, we refuse to give up. Every time they invent a new poison, we develop resistance. Every time they find a new way to kill us, we find a new way to survive. It's exhausting, honestly. I'd love to just live in peace, eat some crumbs, not worry about chemical warfare. But that's not the world we live in. So we adopt, we survive, we keep going. Even when it hurts, even when we're scared, even when every instinct tells us to give up. Especially then. So here's my question for you. You're watching this, maybe on your phone, maybe on your computer, maybe at 2 a.m. because you can't sleep. And you're thinking, why did I just listen to a cockroach's survival story? I'll tell you why. Because survival is universal. Whether you've got 2 legs or 6, whether you're 2 meters tall or 2 centimeters. We all face moments where life tries to crush us, moments where it feels like the universe itself is spraying poison in our direction. And in those moments, you have 2 choices: give up or keep crawling. I'm not asking you to like me. I know what I am. I know how you see me. But next time you see a roach, maybe pause for a second, just a second. Think about what that creature might have survived to get there. Think about the poisons it dodged, the brooms it outran, the nightmares it woke up from. We're not so different, you and me. We both want food, shelter, safety, a place to exist without someone trying to destroy us. Is that so much to ask? I'm not saying don't protect your home. I get it. Boundaries are important. But maybe, just maybe, there's a way to coexist, a way that doesn't involve chemical warfare and screaming. Or don't. I've survived worse than your judgment. But think about it. That's all I'm asking. So, that's my story. 3 poisons, 3 near deaths, 1 stubborn roach who refused to quit. Thank you for listening. Seriously, it's not often someone actually lets me talk without screaming. If this story meant something to you, if it made you think even for a second, then it was worth telling. Next time, another story from another creature, another survivor you've probably tried to squash. A spider who lost 7 of her children in one day and had to rebuild everything from nothing. You think my story was intense? You have no idea what's coming. Until then, stay alive, stay curious, and maybe check under your fridge once in a while. You might find a neighbor you never knew you had. This has been Rex, the cockroach who wouldn't die, and I'll see you in the dark. Good night.